Hello and welcome everybody to the Super Baka Bros channel and tonight's stream of Neighborhood RPG. I am your game master, as always, Angelo, and with us we have our usual bevy of players, and super excited to get going here. We're gonna do our introduction and put all of our social media links in the chat here momentarily. But first, I just want to welcome everyone and say thank you for being here. We got some people already hanging out in the chat. Honestly, a wild moonflower. The emotes are dope. I really appreciate it. And Cyrus, thank you so much for the resub. 11 months is super cool. We're almost to that year mark, and it's crazy to think that we're actually above 2 years streaming on this, considering when we first started this, the overlays themselves were so janky and horrible. It's really cool to see where we're at now. So thank you. I appreciate it. With that out of the way, I'm going to just quickly plug our audio system. As always, we have tabletop audio, which fills in a lot of the sound effects or non-Curse of Strahd music that we have. It's a really cool system you could use in your home game or on stream like we do, absolutely free. And there's a lot of options, a lot of soundboard features that are brand new. So really check them out. Tabletop Audio is it's a dope ass service. And also Travis Savoy's Bandcamp. I'm dropping that into the chat. This is his composed music that we're going to be listening to throughout the game, made specifically for the Curse of Strahd campaign itself. And I am super, super in love with it, to be honest with you. It's really cool. We actually experienced a little bit of it last game with the battle music and everything, and we're definitely going to get a lot more of it today. It's very detailed and varied and super cool. So check out Travis Savoy's Bandcamp and give them a follow. It's a cool thing you can do to help them out. With that out of the way, let's go ahead. I keep looking at my old camera. I know this is a new camera, and I'm like looking over here for a second. I got to remember I'm looking here, stage left. Let's go ahead and get into the character introductions and any social media links you want to put in. I have them ready to go, so you don't need to worry about that. But first, we're going to start off with Phil. Go ahead, introduce your character and anything you would like to say about them. Go ahead.
So my character is Eldrin Farrell, half elf bard.
Good job. Nailed it. An end stream.
All right, I'm out. I wish I could like back out of Discord without messing everything up, because that would be funny.
Please don't do that. I'd cry.
Yeah. So he is kind of a happy-go-lucky, kind of carefree guy, kind of strolling through life. I'm trying to think what to say. Yeah, I think he was before we got into where we're at now. Kind of find ourselves in this pretty obviously dangerous position. He was definitely very reluctant to go along. I think he felt a certain amount of kind of pressure. He wanted to maybe stick around with his two adventure mates, and so since they were going, he definitely didn't want to leave their side, but very much not very happy about his choice now.
2020 hindsight and everything. Thank you very much, Phil. I appreciate that. I threw your Instagram in the chat. I know you're super active over there, so
yeah, don't follow me. I haven't posted since October. Don't follow me.
I know. I think one of my ongoing gag is going to be I'm going to just post all your different stuff each session, especially the ones you don't do anything on, and just see if anyone actually follows you. But thank you very much for introducing your character and getting your race right. That is important. Next up, we're going to go over to Hannah. If you could please go ahead, introduce your character. I will drop all of your Instagram and TikTok into the chat for you, and let us know anything else you'd like to know about your character. Go ahead, Hannah.
Yeah, I am playing Stropharia, and I am a rogue half elf. And my character has had amnesia, so she's trying to like piece together her past and herself through not only through like memories that happen during waking hours, but also like these dreams she's been having as well.
Nice. Nice. I honestly love all three of your characters and the way. Oops, I messed that up. Not you yet, Cyrus. The way that. Sorry, I'm so excited just to continue on. But the way that the backstories and everything are connected, I know all of you don't know quite yet, but as we continue on, it's going to be really cool. And I love how you're playing your character. So thank you very much, Hannah, and follow her TikTok and Instagrams. Really cool mushroom content you should check out. I'm super obsessed with it. And actually, I have it covered. I have some plant. I don't know why I'm pulling this down, but I have this like plant poster that people can't even see on the stream. I'm realizing that now, but it's pretty cool. So at least Hannah can see
cool.
it. Thank you very much, Hannah. And then now we're going to go over to Cyrus. If you could introduce your character and any cool links. Do you want the mental misplay link or the link tree?
My link tree goes to the mental misplay
Okay,
and
I don't have that one ready. So if you want to drop that and then
how to type it out. I'm not sure that I
sorry,
do.
I should have had
Because
that ready. This is just how professional.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
you
it
got it
right.
right. There we go.
you
And then
I am playing Bakrog the Stone, half giant, ex gladiator. Really here to make friends, primarily, and also to use all this sweet gear that he's gotten. It's definitely. I mean, I don't know that that's his ambition, but it's my ambition, and so it's carrying over quite a bit. I'm having a hard time remembering exactly where we left off last time because my brain is Swiss cheese. But I remember we found like a body in the woods, and I was checking that out, and then we got to like almost a town or something. I don't remember exactly what headspace Bakrog was in, except for everything going on since we got back from the last mission has been a little wild. So he's just trying to keep up.
very nice. You know, honestly, for having like sickness memory, that's pretty good. I got to give you credit.
That's where we're
at. Thank you, Cyrus. We're going to go ahead and try to go back over here. It looks like everything is working fine. I have the stream up on my phone because the Xbox is being a son of a gun. Yeah, looks like we're fine. Although I was trying to be nice about the cameras and everything, and I have Hannah a little bit lower just so that I could get your hair in there as well. But let me just
today.
fix this real quick. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, it should cut in here in a second. There we go. Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone for introducing your characters. Sorry about the stream issues. That actually never happened. Memory wipe. And let's go ahead and get into the previously on the Magic Jewel Heist. So, last we left off, our three adventurers had finished their mission in the Mirabar mountain village, solving the mystery of the missing miners, destroying the Mind Flayer, and returning back to Daggerford, where they first started their journey as a whole. They were invited, after 3 days later, to a very fancy dinner for the Duchess of Daggerford by the Duchess Morrowind. And during this fancy dinner, there's a bit of an interruption with the guards coming in and saying that there was a group of outsiders that would not go away. The Duchess asking the three of you to go intervene peacefully and ask them to leave. They told you a tale of some knight who came into their land who was gravely injured. They protected this knight and fought off all these enemies who later became their lord, who has now fallen upon some sort of curse, and asked you all to go to this place to help him. After a little bit of a weird interaction, you agreed, and getting into a carriage after a little while, realizing that the smoke from the campfire that you were at seemingly was like following you, like supernaturally following you. And after a while, I want to say Strahd was the one that opened the door and was like, "Hey, what's going on out there?" The carriage stopped. You all, being surrounded by this mysterious mist, started to journey out and realize that you were no longer in the Sword Coast. And you were in this whole new area with some mysterious large trees and this massive wall of mist, just basically cutting a line through the trees and the road that you were standing in. After Strahd finding a dead body not too far away with some sort of a letter asking for help, pleading for help, as the people, the denizens of this area seem to be in trouble, you all walked forward toward the only place where you saw any sort of civilization or lights. And after a while, a large, massive wolf was standing in your way. A battle ensued. It went a lot better than it could have, although Eldrin, did not fare too well in that battle. And after mysteriously, they all three at the same time looked a certain direction and started taking off. Bakrog and Eldrin actually picked off a few of them as they tried to run away. One got away. You limped the rest of the way toward this civilization and finally getting to what looks like safety. So, with that all out of the way, let's go ahead and switch back over to this before I forget. If everyone could go ahead at home, people playing with us, raise your drink of choice, as I like to say a little toast before each session, except for last session because I fucking forgot. May your dice roll true, and may you all make it through. Meh.
Meh.
Yours was like a zombie meh. Now, shall we play? Let's go ahead and switch over to that. So, as the three of you, and let me shut this off. As the three of you finally make your way to this town of some kind, the rain still downpouring on top of you, still in the middle of the night. You come up to what looks like a small town. The roads covered in mud and rain. As you start to walk into town, everyone give me perception checks, please.
13.
Not bad.
21.
Oh shit. Starting off hot.
15.
Okay, not bad. I mean, all of you... That seems too loud. Okay. All of you notice this, what I'm about to describe to you. But as you... And I'm trying to remember to not look down as I read. Can you all hear me right now? Because I want to make sure the mic and everything... I messed it up last time. Does this sound good for everyone? Okay, cool. So the three of you, as you walk into this darkly lit village, you all get this sense of despair as it surrounds you. Most of the houses and the buildings have their windows boarded up, and the streets are empty except for Strahd noticed this especially. Like a couple of people down the way away from you notice you walking into town. They quickly see you and just like scurry to wherever they're going. But as Strahd sees like one or two people, you look down a road a ways away from you, and Strahd sees this like lone figure pushing a cart. Is hunched over, far, far away, about 100 feet away from you, not too close. But the rest of you don't see that. As you see this hunched over figure, they like call out to the people around them. You can't pick up what they're saying, but you can hear them softly calling out. And there's no sound except for that and this like mournful cry that's down the street a little bit, with a occasional harsh voice, like this male voice cutting through, yelling at this person who was crying. Sounds like some sort of argument, some sort of domestic dispute. And as you walk into town, there's only 3 different buildings that really have their lights on. Most of them are in the center of town, and there's like a town square, if you will. Where do you all want to go? The 3 different lights that you do see as you're like walking into town and you're looking around, there looks to be like some sort of mercantile store that's a little bit north of you. You can smell and hear like a fire coming from another building. It looks like some place where people can get drinks. There's a sign. If you want to try to read the sign on these at all, just let me know.
Eldrin, are you feeling like we should find somewhere to rest before we go much further?
I'd appreciate that. I don't know how much useful I'll be without a bit of rest myself.
Perhaps we should try to read this sign and see if there's an inn or something afoot.
Agreed.
Oh, the first sign that you see, you read, and it's actually a little bit south of you, this like large building, and it says Bildrat's Mercantile. The building itself is pretty haggard, as most of the buildings are in this village. But the door to the building is fairly nice. The other sign that you see says Blood of the Vine Tavern. As you look at it, though, the word "of" is like carved. There's a letter carved over the F on "of." And thank you very much for the sub there. The F is carved, and there's an N carved over it, so it looks like it's Blood on the Vine Tavern. And the only other lights that you see seem to be coming from where that domestic dispute is happening, a little ways away from you.
Well, we feeling like being heroes, or we feeling like getting a drink?
I think I would prefer resting, which feels strange. I'm not usually one to turn down a drink, but...
Well. The drink was a metaphor for resting.
You're very deep.
Learn from the best. So should we start making our way over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so you're going to the tavern?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you go over to the tavern. Like I said, you smell this fire coming from inside of it. Just like the other buildings, it's not that fancy at all. It's pretty beat up, to be honest with you. As you walk into the tavern itself, you see, as you walk through the doorway, you're greeted by this very short, like, haggard-looking, older human gentleman. He has like a leather apron on. He's standing behind what looks like the bar, and off to just to the right of him are 3 women. Actually, everyone give me a perception check. Let's see what you can tell as you look inside.
You can just tell us.
Well, I will tell you, but you notice the detail of it.
7.
Yeah. Got an 8.
8?
7.
12.
12. Actually, Eldrin's the only one that notices. So for everyone, you notice the 3 different people, the 3 women, and then off to the right, there's another lone human, seemingly just drinking tea, it looks like. But Eldrin, you notice that the 3 women are wearing a very familiar garb that the Vistani were wearing during that campfire. Bakrog, Sefaria, you don't recognize that as you look inside. The barkeep just nods, grunts at you, if you will, as you walk in. What can I get you?
Looking for a place to rest.
Well, you're not going to find that here. I can get you a drink, and that's about it. What can I get you? And the 3 women kind of are looking at the 3 of you as you walk in.
Might you be able to offer us a drink with a advice on where we could rest as a back?
We can start with the drink and maybe go from there. And as you're having this conversation, the lone gentleman that's off to the side, he stands up and you hear him say, I would like to buy them whatever they're drinking. And starts walking over to you. And this is the first time you get a good look. He's this like shoulder length hair, blonde, almost like white, not quite gray, around mid-30s or so. As he walks up to you and says, whatever they're having, I would like to purchase for them if they would care to join me for a conversation. And he looks expectantly to the 3 of you.
Are these drinks, is your conversation going to be worth these drinks?
Oh, I'm not that much of a conversationalist, but if you're looking for a place to stay, I might be able to offer you something.
Now you're talking.
Please, join me. And he, points over to the table where he is at. As he's about to walk over there, he looks over at the barkeep and says, Arik, anything they would like, please, on my tab. And the barkeep looks at the 3 of you. What are you having?
I'll take a herbal tea. I think I'd like to keep my wits about me tonight.
He just grunts at you and looks over at Bakrog.
I was gonna ask for a tea too.
Okay.
It's been a cold and wet journey out there, okay?
And you? And he looks over at Eldrin.
Well, sounds like I'm drinking for 3.
Wine okay with you?
Depends if the wine's okay.
It's all right. And the 3 women off to the side, they just kind of laugh as the barkeep says this. He starts getting glasses and starts pouring stuff. The human who offered to buy her drinks is already heading over to sit back down, waiting for you all to join him.
I'll join as soon as I get my tea. I don't need to wait around.
Sure. You each get your drinks put out on the counter, and as you do you walk over to this gentleman? Like Bakrog does, Strafaria, Eldrin?
Yeah, I follow.
Okay.
I'll follow, but I'm gonna stop. Am I passing by the 3 ladies on my way?
Yeah. They're like 2 chairs away from the barkeep.
So I kind of lean over and just kind of say hi to them real quick on my way by.
Okay. And one of them with dark, almost black hair. What do you say exactly to them?
Ladies, I have to say your outfits are quite remarkable.
The one with the darker hair just kind of nods and says, "Oh, well, we made them ourselves. Much appreciated. Please enjoy your stay here. If there's anything you need, let us know."
I suppose this is probably the best place to find you.
Oh, but of course. We are the owners, no?
Oh. Well, I'll be sure to enjoy your accommodations.
Ah, very good. And they just kind of like nod and raise their glasses to you. As the rest of you sit down and Eldrin, coming up to the table, the human who introduced himself, or got up and offered to buy your drinks, introduces himself. And he says, "Thank you for joining me. My name is Ismark Kulionovich. And who all might you be?"
I am Strafaria.
Pleasure.
I'll just give him the standard introduction. Balgrog the Stone.
An honor.
I am Eldrin Farrell.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I am not familiar with you being regulars here in Barovia. So I imagine you're from Valaki or Kresk. I figure we could have a conversation if that's okay with you.
I mean, you're buying.
That I am. I don't know how familiar you are with Barovia, the village that we are in now, but I'm looking for a few able-bodied people to help me with something. Are you familiar with what troubles this small little village that you are in?
Tell us.
There is a tyrant, some might say a devil, who casts a shadow over our village. And where some people might say that he is not as bad as some people would over-exaggerate, I myself would say he is as bad as I would say and more.
You don't say.
I say. Strahd is his name, and he troubles my family personally. My sister in particular. He has been harassing her for the past few weeks or so, and I'm looking for some people to help her escape this town to Valaki. Where are you from exactly? Are you familiar with Valaki or Kretsk? Maybe some other place you might be able to take her to.
I'm probably the least familiar with towns out and about of the three of us. But
to be fair, not even to have any of you roll, you have no idea. Any of you have no idea what he is talking about.
I have amnesia. I definitely don't know.
Eldrin, if you want to bullshit your way through something, but you definitely don't know as far as where he's talking about.
Oh, I'm a man of many places. I often find myself a new place from day to day. A man of the road, I'd say.
Also well spoken. Respect. If this is something that you would all be interested in, I could offer you a place to stay, to rest, maybe something more, but I could use your help if you are able and interested in helping my sister.
I turn to the two of them and say, you guys know I'm always down to help people.
nothing better to do while we're stuck in this strange land. Maybe we can get some information about what's actually going on with us being here.
Are you guys saying this out loud in front of the person, or are you?
I'm trying to whisper this back.
Okay.
I'll kind of say this to everyone. I'm not quite the fearsome fighter as my two friends here are, and it seems as though we are finding ourselves being pulled deeper and deeper into something that we know nothing about. I must be honest that your sister sounds like a lovely lady, but we really have no idea where we're at, and I'm hesitant to offer help when what I really want to do is just get the fuck out of here.
And as you finish saying that, like you're finishing the end of your sentence, you see this sort of realization dawn on Ismark, the person you're talking to. He looks at each of you one by one, and then you see him look over to the three people, the three women that own this place, and then back to you. And he lowers his head and his voice gets quieter and says, "Are you telling me that you are not from Valaki or Kretsk or Barovia, the valley in general?"
They all sound like lovely places, as is here, but we have no idea what you're talking about.
Who have you talked to since you've gotten here?
Only you.
Barkeep. Those ladies over there.
And his voice gets a little bit lower. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, what? They offered to help.
No, don't take. And he like tries to be as like nonchalant as possible. His face being neutral as he says this. Those women over there who own this place are the part of the Vistani. They serve and aid Count Strahd. Whatever you do, do not interact with them.
Well, if I'm being honest, it was some gentlemen, Visconis, that the reason we're here in the first place. They, I believe, got us here under false pretenses, and then we ended up in some cloud of smoke, and then poof, dead body.
Dead body, what do you mean? Did you have another journey with you that is no longer among the living?
He wasn't with us, not that I remember. I don't know. There were some people on top of the carriage, though. I don't know what happened to them. I guess it could be Strangle? I can't remember what his name was.
What did this dead body look like? And where did you find them?
I was in the cat. I was not really paying attention. So you're gonna have
We found him in the woods. I believe I was in a tree scouting.
And he kind of like looks down for a moment, his face a little more pale. Was there a letter on him?
That sounds familiar.
Yes, I have the letter.
May I
have it
see
in my
it,
notes.
please? You hand the letter, he takes it, and he instantly his face goes even more pale. This is from my father. We sent him to seek aid, for our situation is more dire than you all realize. If he did not escape the mist, then I think we're in grave danger. If you would please, let's finish our drinks, nonchalantly get up, and follow me to my manor, where we can discuss more in private. As he says this last part, somebody else comes into the tavern. As he walks in, it's this large human male. He's got like suspenders and a flannel shirt on. He's covered in sawdust. His red hair with a big old red beard. He's not quite dragging, but lifting barely off the ground this massive wood axe. And as he sits down, kind of shakes himself off, he starts talking, and all of you, but especially Strafaria, who rolled that very high perception check, instantly know this voice as the voice of the male person that was yelling at the woman in this house. He sits down and he's like, "Give me a drink." "Excuse me, give me a drink." Barkeep doesn't even say anything and hands it over. And as he's like drinking, he looks over to the table you're sitting on. "Well, if it isn't Ismark the Lesser. Fancy catching you here when she'll be out doing everything you can to find my daughter." Ismark, who like just kind of nods and says, "I am trying everything I can. I assure you, Kadir." Just needed a quick drink of tea before we continue our search. And the large man who's like just chugging this wine, not even, trying to slowly drink it at all. You're trying. Trying, you say? Seems like you and your damn father are doing absolutely nothing. It's been weeks and there's not a sign or anything of my daughter. What are you going to do about this? What about those damn Dursts over there who hiding up in their house? I know I got them, and I know they got my daughter, and you guys haven't done nothing. Ismark, who is like visibly getting upset as this is starting to intensify. Kadir, you don't know if the Dursts have your daughter or not. Nobody has been able to get inside that house and hasn't seen the Dursts for weeks. If we can get somebody to get word to them and find out for sure, we would. But I assure you, I'm trying everything that I can. And this large redhead man gets up finally with his axe and says, there's that word again, trying. I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm sick of hearing you say that you try. You better start doing before you get done. Because I'm going to do you in if you don't. And he looks over at the three of you now finally. What the hell you all want?
I'm pretty tired. Just gonna rest, I guess.
I just avert my eyes to the whole situation. I don't know how to handle this.
That's impressive the way you drink that wine, I gotta say.
You better shut your mouth before I shut it for you. Pointy ear.
Answer a question that's asked.
As he chugs more wine and says, if you don't find my daughter soon, Ismark, I'm going to take a visit to your house and see your father personally. And as Ismark takes this in, he just looks up at him and says, I promise, on my father's life, I will do what I can to find your daughter. And this sort of seems to calm down Kadir, this newcomer to the tavern. And he says, yeah, you damn well better. And he sits back down, asks for another glass of wine. Ismark, who looks at the three of you and says, I think it is time for us to leave.
Okay, hold on. You I'm gonna say it's quiet, so this is still land over there can't hear us. You said that you're gonna help him find his daughter, but you swore on your father's life. But you know your father is dead. So do you not actually care about finding his daughter?
Just get up. Let's go. Now. So
as we're walking out, I'll kind of nudge Eldrin and we'll be like, I noticed that too. Very, very clever.
They think we're not smart, but we're smart.
As the three of you and this Ismark head back into town, into the streets, the rain hits you again. It's still nighttime, obviously. It's only been about 30 minutes or so. And you start heading toward some large mansion that is very much a lot nicer than all the other houses. As you walk up to this mansion, go ahead and everyone give me a perception check real quick.
18.
Nice.
Let's switch this up.
13.
Oh, numero uno.
There you go. As Eldrin, you're still have this disgusting taste of that wine in your mouth. You're not even thinking about the surroundings. The other
I don't
two,
think we destemmed it.
kudos on you for knowing that's actually a thing. The rest of you, as you walk up, you see this weary-looking mansion behind a rustling iron fence. And the iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, while the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. The weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all about the domain. Heavy claw marks have stripped the once beautiful finish of the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed this mansion. And not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, and each one marked with stains of evil omen. Bakrog, your roll was fairly high, or was it Strafaria's?
Mine was 18.
Okay. You notice especially like the footprints around the windows. They don't look like they're even footprints. Looks like some like legs are being dragged even. It's like something is definitely wrong with whoever the people that were trying to assail this house. As you walk up, Ismark opens the door and quickly like ushers you inside. As you are inside the interior of the mansion, it's well furnished, yet the fixtures show sign of great wear. Noticeable oddities are boarded up windows and the presence of a holy symbol in every single room. You see off to the side the Burgermaster, which is such a cool name, I just want to say, is in
I'm like, Burgermaster. Like up on Aurora.
Yeah, there you go.
This is delicious.
You see is in a side drawing room laying on a simple wooden coffin, obviously deceased, as Eldrin alluded to, surrounded by wilting flowers and a faint odor of decay. As you're all kind of like shaking yourselves off from the rain and everything, you see a figure start heading down the stairs to greet you. As she comes down the stairs, this human woman with auburn hair and a darker complexion than everyone else, whether it's Ismark, the barkeep, the Vistani, even the lumberjack, Kadir, all have very pale-looking faces. This newcomer has like a darker complexion and green eyes. And as she walks up to greet Ismark, she looks at the rest of you and says, "Hello. I am Irina. Who all might you be?"
My name is Strofaria.
Nice to meet you.
You call me Eldrin Farrell.
Pleasure. She looks up at you, Bakrog. And you?
Bakrog.
It's nice to meet all of you. And she looks back to Ismark. Can I speak with you for a moment, brother? And Ismark says, yes, these people are offering to help you, Irina. I think we should listen to them. Yes, that's nice. Can I just quickly talk with you? They kind of step away a little bit. If you want to try to listen in to their conversation, let me know.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll insight checks, actually.
7.
Okay. Anyone else? 4?
Oof. All right.
As they like get closer over to the body of their dead father.
Fuck. 9.
9. Gotcha. You don't hear much, most of you. Eldrin, you pick up like don't even know them, and coming from Irina, after a moment they come back. Irina very much visibly upset, if you will. So, my brother says that you're all willing to help. Are you offering to help with the search of Gertruda, the missing daughter of the lumberjack here in town? And Ismark says, no. They're offering to help get you to Vallaki or somewhere safe, Irina. We need to get you out of here. And Irina says, I'm not going anywhere until we find the whereabouts of that little girl. And you can see Ismark being very, very upset with this. It's not safe for you here, Irina. We need to do what we can to get you out of here. Now. She looks over at the three of you and says, look, I appreciate you all willing to help, but between Gertruda missing and getting our deceased father to the cemetery, I'm not going anywhere. Sorry to halt any of your plans. You all look very much like you need rest. Why don't you sleep on this and we can figure out what we're actually going to do? Does that sound fine?
I don't think we need sleep in order to figure it out. It sounds as though what needs to happen for you to get to safety is to find this little girl. So we find the little girl and then you get to safety.
Interesting. And she kind of, you get this like flash of respect over her eyes as she looks at you. Well, a man who knows what he needs to do. I appreciate that.
Is she attractive?
She's very attractive. She is
What age?
very, very attractive. I mean, does that matter? But I would say,
yeah.
I mean, given
Laws are around here.
fair, giving her a look, you assume around 25 or so. I want everyone to roll perception checks, actually, while you're talking.
Rolling so badly,
This is an interesting roll. I just want to say a heads up if it's a little high enough.
17.
Ooh,
16.
Okay. Please say Eldrin got shit.
Did.
What'd you get?
Like 4.
Perfect. You're kind of like a little bit, putting on the charms, and you don't quite notice this. But Bakrog and Straferia absolutely does. As Irina is talking, her collar moves a little bit, and you notice 2 puncture marks into the side of her neck, and she nonchalantly covers them. But Eldrin, you do not notice this. Well, if we're gonna find Gertruda, we're gonna have to figure out how to get into the Durst Manor, because it seems everything points to at least possibly that being where she might be. Every single person who's tried to get inside seems to be deterred somehow from getting in there. I don't know if you want to attempt that tonight, but I would highly recommend that we get some rest and be ready to go.
I think we should rest and then chill during the day tomorrow until we have the cover of night yet again before making our way over.
I'm going to turn to Irina and say that I absolutely want to help find this missing girl. And after we rest all night, perhaps all day, tomorrow night, we will find her.
I thank you, Straferia. Thank you. See, Ismark, there are good people still out there that are willing to do the right thing, even if we are not. And Ismark his pale face gets a little bit red as he is very single-mindedly trying to get Irina out of this town.
Milady, do you think you could elaborate a little bit on deterred? You mentioned that people have tried to get in, and you used the term deterred. What has actually happened?
Well, some of our more capable, I don't want to say thieves, but lockpicks have attempted to try to break in, and even the most veteran ones were not able to break into this house. The windows are barred with metal, and any signs of any sort of activity have not come to any fruition. It seems the house itself is dormant. Barring chopping a hole into the side of the building, I don't know how people are going to be able to get in. But you three do look very
Perk
capable.
up.
You
Perk up at the sound of chopping my way in.
Well, you seem sure that signs point to this house as being the site where this girl is, yet you call the house dormant.
Honestly, I only say that because Gertruda used to play with the kids that used to live there. And that was the last known location of her before she went missing. She really could be anywhere. It's just the only clues that we have. She could have gone off and ran away to Vallaki for all we know. But I think finding where she might possibly be here in Barovia first is a lot more useful of our time.
I wonder if there might be any other locations less impenetrable that we might also look at in addition to this mansion that you mentioned tomorrow when we're ready to go.
Well, I don't recommend this, but you could go speak to her mother, Mary. Her husband, who is not a pleasant man, and she looks over at Ismark, would not be the one you want to talk to. He seems to want to cause violence to my brother. But Mary might have some clues as to where she might be, but she's been stricken with grief ever since she's gone missing. She said that at first her daughter was dead for sure, without any sort of evidence. And then after a few days, she said that she was for sure alive. Seems to have caused some sort of strife between her and her husband. But if you'd like to speak with her, there is that as well. I would not be there, though, when Kadir, her husband, is present.
We met him earlier, actually. I believe I believe I may have charmed him.
She kind of looks at you sideways. I doubt that, even though you do seem very charming.
And you very perceptive.
Oh, are you hungry? Would you all like to rest? Or is there any other thing else you'd like to ask?
I'm ready for bed.
Is that Cyrus or is that Bakrog saying?
Hey, sometimes that's what's nice about D&D.
Yeah, play through the reality of it. So what are we doing?
I'm ready to rest.
Okay. Eldrin?
Yeah, rest.
Okay. As the three of you are shown each individual rooms that are fairly nice, there's some layer of dust on the dressers and some of the furnishing, but for the most part, they look fairly nice. You go to lay down as this is decently late into the evening. As you're almost to the point of finally falling asleep, the three of you see this green glow start to emit out of the window. For anyone who wants to see, let me know the rest of this, or if you just want to try to go to sleep.
I would like to see.
Sure.
Bakrog, are you passing out, or what are you doing?
Sure, I'll pass out. Why not?
Okay, Bakrog is just ready to go to sleep. Strafaria, Eldrin, as you go to the window, you look off what looks like the church, and behind it, the cemetery. This green glow starts emitting from the cemetery itself. And one by one, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to about 100 different green, ghostly-looking figures start to rise from the cemetery and start walking down the road. Each person that rises up looks like some sort of veteran adventurer wearing armor and weapons, maces and staffs. Some of them wearing some very intricate-looking weapons and armor that looks like they were veteran adventurers, as they all single-mindedly head in this long march down the road, heading west, all in the same direction. They just march away without any sort of sound whatsoever, heading west. This happens and the light disappears and you're all okay to go to bed, definitely feeling a little odd by what just happened.
Is there anything in that direction that we would know of?
Not that you were able to see in the middle of the night, no. I mean, you could try to like peer out and see now, but it is almost, you assume about midnight. So it's still fairly dark outside. It's still raining outside, but you could try.
I mean, leaning to 6 inches isn't going to change anything.
Exactly. Okay. We resting?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Strafaria is shook, but also tired. It's like, well, we're going to rest and deal with that tomorrow.
Fair enough. You all... oh, go ahead.
Well, and inspired by that, I'll say Eldrin will take one more sip from his chalice and say, I think I might have had a little too much wine today.
Very nice. Very nice. So yeah, you all long rest. Go ahead and make sure you're back to full health. Get any sort of traits or abilities that you have, action surge, or anything along those lines. They're all back.
Is long rest automatically full health, or do we have to do dice? Or
no, full health. Dice is for short rest.
Short rest.
As you wake up, you look out the window and you can definitely tell it is no longer night, but the sky is still very dark. There's like an overcast of just these dark gray clouds that don't allow the sun to pierce through. If you'd like to get up and head downstairs.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll saunter my way down.
You come downstairs and you still get that faint odor of decay from the burgomaster's dead body. Off to the other side, there's like a makeshift dining room where you see Irina and Ismark have prepared some food if you all would like to eat. Ismark greets all of you. Good morning. It actually is almost afternoon, but it's good to see you all up and about. If you'd like some food, please enjoy.
Thank you.
Very kind.
It smells a little bit like rotting flesh in your home, but I'll try.
Eldrin's going to give him a little nudge, like, dude.
No, he's right. Honestly, ever since the passing of our father, we haven't been able to get his coffin down to the church. I was actually going to ask the rest of you if you'd be willing to help us with that.
Definitely.
But if you have
Of
other
course.
things you want to do first, talk to Mary or head to Durst Manor, that's fine too. But please, enjoy your food. You all eat. It's a simple meal, nothing too fancy. Eggs, some liver, nothing really to write home about. As you finish your meal, Irina collects your plates to take into what you assume is the kitchen. She looks at all of you and says, well, what's the plan?
Well, I was actually wondering if you could maybe give us a little more kind of context and kind of insight into what all is going on. We're not from here. We're very much out of our element, so any bit of information you can give us could potentially be very helpful.
I don't know what my brother has said to you, but you find yourselves in a very dangerous situation as the valley of Barovia is besieged by the Dark Tyrant, Strahd. His minions have been attacking our home for weeks. It's actually the cause of our father's death. His heart couldn't take it anymore, and one night it gave up on him. It seems the creatures and some of the denizens of this land are his to command. The Vistani, the wolves, even the bats, some people say, are under his control. My brother thinks getting me to Vallaki will keep me safe, but I think it's more than that. We definitely have to try, as I seem to be the target of his desire, as he has come to see me twice now. To be honest with you, I don't quite remember what happened those 2 times, as I seem to be charmed by him, but I remember his red eyes staring at me deep into my soul, and then waking up the next day with this. And she pulls down her shirt, and now, Eldrin, you see the 2 marks, these 2 puncture marks on the side of her neck. I fear if he succeeds again, that I might be completely under his control.
How familiar are we with vampire lore?
Everyone roll history checks. Let's history, medicine.
Right, have I seen Twilight?
You haven't seen Twilight, but you know of the baseball scene.
Okay.
Wait, history or medicine?
Whatever you prefer, whatever you're better at.
Okay, I'm going medicine.
And full disclosure for people watching, I have not seen Twilight, but I know of that baseball scene.
Sure you haven't.
15.
I haven't. All right.
I've seen your tramp stamp.
I'll tell you what. If we get up to 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers, I will get a tramp stamp of Twilight on my back.
Nice.
I didn't hear the rolls. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of my new tramp stamp.
I got an 11.
15.
And what is this, Eldrin and Strahd? Is it history? Is it medicine?
Medicine.
History.
Okay. Strahd, through your training that you're now realizing through your dreams that you went through, there is some flashes of some creatures. You don't know the word vampire, but you know of them biting and sucking blood, and that they are very persuasive and charming people. But the word vampire is not there. It's not really in your mind, but you definitely know that those marks mean control over that person for sure. And Eldrin, through your journey, you have read some books that
Not to brag.
yeah, you're learned. You are learned, and you have picked up not the word vampire itself, but the similar sort of traits, that there's some creatures or beings that can control others through these bite marks. Bakrog, you have no idea.
Tracks.
Well, I have to say I find this a bit worrying. How are we to be sure that he may not already have some level of control over you now?
She kind of nods her head, and she turns to Ismark and says, "You know what, brother? I think you picked smart ones. You honestly don't. I will say this with full conviction, that I am not. And I want nothing to do with that man. And although he may be a devil, but I will not be one of his minions." And you can roll an insight check to see if she's lying to you or not.
Sure.
Any of you can if you want.
Mine will be awful, but sure.
Natural 20.
Oh, hell
21.
yeah. 21.
I got 21.
Nice.
Yeah.
10 over here. I continue having no idea.
You're kind of wrapped up in this liver, this tasty, delicious liver meal that you've never had before. It's really quite lovely to you. Strafaria and Eldrin, you could tell, there's almost this, plea for help in her eyes as she says this. She absolutely wants to be away from this man and is completely not under her control. Eldrin, with your natural 20, you pick up there is some other Like, you're for sure, you know, that she is not under his control and that she is deathly afraid of Strahd, but there's some other threat that she is worried about as well with your natural 20. So, where do we start?
I'm sorry to be, playing 20 questions, but
No, by all means.
I definitely feel the sincerity with which everyone we've met so far is very fearful of this Strahd and the power he has. But I can't help but feel like there's maybe something more going on, something else that has people worried.
Well, there is many creatures of this land that plague us, and they're for sure sinister people. And although Strahd is a devil, there's some men that I would consider to be monsters. If we do make it to Vallaki, there is one that we definitely want to stay clear of.
Does he have a name?
Isaac. He too has seemed to take a fancy to me.
Sounds like a real Chad.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I'm sure it is not a good thing.
No, it is not.
Trust me when I say that Strahd is definitely the most dangerous person here. Isaac is a close second.
In my land, we call that a douche.
I'll remember that. Thank you. So, should we go see Mary or try to stop by the Durst Manor? I don't know if you want to try to get my father's coffin to the church. It is midday by now. It's up to you. I know you said you wanted to wait till the evening to possibly go into the manor.
I will follow your lead. I can take care of the coffin now, or we can head out and talk. Whatever you two think is most prudent.
Let's get the dead body out of here.
You, Buckrog, think you're, rock enough to muscle that casket over on your own, or you think you need some help?
Oh, let me give it a shot.
You want to try to pick up the casket?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me a strength check. Let's see if you can,
Let's do this.
do some pumps, arms a little bit, get Jackie ready to go. As the rest of you see Buckrog walk over to this simple wooden casket. It's nothing too fancy.
Do I get a proficiency bonus on this check because I'm proficient in strength, or no?
I will say that the DC is lower than normal because of your strength.
Come on, dice. Oh my god, why? Why does this always happen?
What is it?
It's a 1.
Yes!
It's a natural 1.
Oh, that's what I was waiting for.
God, it's
As
gonna be
No,
There's some comedy movie where I feel like...
They're gonna get a little Weekend at Bernie's.
As you go to lift up the casket, the stench of the dead body. You're usually okay with dead bodies, but this one's been marinating a little bit. You could tell that this has been here for a little while. It fills your nostrils and throws you off. You almost faint. It hits you so bad. But as you go to lift, you stop, immediately set down any sort of effort, and you look back at the rest of them. You can give it a try again if you'd like. The DC is definitely higher. As the rest of you see Buckrog uncharacteristically, not even fully attempt to lift the thing.
Oh, we're definitely gonna try again. We're just
I want to
warming up.
hop in and help Buckrog too.
Hold up.
Buckrog's pride has been hurt by this. Let's see what you got, Bakro.
How about a 16?
A 16. As you see Strafaria start to head over to help you, you grit your teeth. You almost like, I don't know if you would have any sort of like Vaseline, but you put something underneath your nose to get yourself like fully ready to lift this thing. And it actually takes you a moment, but you do lift up the casket. Determined, a little bit pale face, but determined to carry it yourself. And you have it in the air, yes. Are we splitting the group up?
I don't want to be split up, personally. I think we should stick together. Especially after what we saw last night.
Eldrin?
Are we saying this? Is this us as characters, or are we?
Yeah, as a character.
That was kind of random. You just kind of threw that out there, apropos of nothing. But yeah, all right, sure. I think staying together is probably a good idea.
Irina looks over to Ismark and says, "Brother, it looks like we're doing this now. Would you like to come with us?" And he nods and says, "Yes, of course. I'll follow all of you." As you head out, I assume, over to the church.
Yep.
I'm like, carrying the thing. Oh, hey, where are we headed?
Follow my voice.
Ismark, he points north, where Eldrin and Strafaria saw the green glow of the undead march the night before. You make your way through town, and once again, there's not many people walking around, and all of you see the small hunched figure of somebody pushing this cart and like softly calling out to people as they walk through the town. You walk your way to the church itself, and as you get closer, you see atop a slight rise against the roots of the pillar stone that supports a tall building off in the distance stands a gray and sagging edifice of stone and wood. This church is obviously weathered the assaults of evil for centuries on end and is worn and weary. A bell tower rises toward the back, and flickering light shines through the holes in the shingled roof. The rafters strain feebly against their load. So you see a church that is definitely beat to shit.
Translation.
Yeah, that's basically it. And actually, this is the first time you see this. You see some very massive, like large building off in the distance. So big you can see clearly that it is a castle, miles and miles away from where you're at. And Strafaria and Eldrin, give me a survival check real quick.
Ooh, I suck.
Oh, me too. 6.
16.
Oh, you suck. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, 'cause I have a 0 of my bonuses sucks.
Oh, fair enough. Strafaria, you don't pick this out, but Eldrin, as you're looking, you kind of remember last night and you realize the undead march seems to be heading that direction of this castle. As you walk up to the doors, the heavy wooden doors of the church are covered with claw marks and scarred by fire. Ismark opens the doors, these large doors, and as the doors open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 20-foot long hall leading to a brightly lit chapel. The hall is unlit and reeks of mildew. 4 doors, 2 on each side of the hall, lead to adjacent chambers, and you can see that the chapel is strewn with debris. And you hear a soft voice within reciting a prayer of some kind. Suddenly, the prayer is blotted out by an inhuman scream that rises up from beneath the wooden floor. Ismark kind of like looks back at the rest of you and says, "Did you all hear that?"
Hi.
I'm gonna pretend like I did not.
Yes, unfortunately.
Be prepared. That did not sound good. And he starts
that-
like, oh, go ahead.
Is that a sound you've heard before?
No. No, I've never heard that before. Although I don't hang out here too often, to be honest with you. This church gives me the creeps.
This seems like a nice place for a coffin right here. I mean,
Yeah, Bakarog, if you could, please, go ahead and just set it down here in the hall for now.
Gladly.
You set it
Can we
down.
just we just take off then? We're good?
Just a moment. I need to talk to Father Donovich. And you see this portly, balding gentleman in simple robes, very dirty-looking robes, walk up to the rest of you. He greets Ismark. Oh, Ismark, it is a pleasure to see you. I assume you've brought your father here for a ceremony. Yes, I have, Father. We are a bit partaken by time, but if you could please prepare the services for him, and we can come back later to carry them out, if that's okay with you, Father. Oh, perfect. That's absolutely perfect. Thank you. I will see that it is done. And you can see this father, this priest, kind of eye the three of you as he's saying this, kind of looking you all over. Ismark says quickly, I thank you, Father. We'll be back later. And he quickly tries to leave out the door, trying to usher you. Do you all leave with him?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. You all head out, and you see Irina looking back. You all heard that, right?
Nope.
Now I know.
I heard it.
I know that you are a wise man, Eldrin. But trying to forget the troubles that are underfoot, possibly quite literally, is what gets us in trouble. We might need to address that later, but let's go ahead and carry on. Where should we go to next?
Should we talk to the mother of Lost Girl?
That might be a good option, yes. Although, Ismark, I don't think you should be there, as Kadir does not like you in particular.
They have a history.
Ismark kind of nods. We grew up together as friends, but as I got older, my father became the burgomaster. He resented me. And now,
Classic story.
as his daughter has gone missing, he resents me, thinking that I'm not doing enough to find her.
I've been wondering something. I'm sorry to kind of interrupt. So why is it that you're kind of put in charge of this? Are you some kind of law enforcement figure around here, or?
Well, my father being the burgomaster, which is a term of leadership of the town, it is put upon him. And to be honest with you, most people actually don't know that my father is dead, including Kadir. So yes, I wouldn't say law enforcement, but definitely a leadership role of some kind.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to the mansion to get ready for the ceremony. Irina, you should join me. And Irina kind of looks back. I'm going to go with them, brother. They might need my help. And Ismark says, we're trying to keep you safe. That's the whole point of all of this. Irina says, no. The whole point of all of this is to find the girl. Eldrin, Stefaria, Bakrog, please, back me up on this.
Absolutely. Our main goal is to find that girl first.
I mean, selfishly, you being with us makes it easier for us, but more dangerous for you. So I'm all for it.
Bakrog, what do you think?
I think you should be allowed to make your own decisions.
And she kind of smiles at you as you say that. Exactly. I'm my own woman, brother. I could take care of myself, but as you yourself put, we have these people here to help in case there is trouble. I'll be fine. And he, like, very reluctantly kind of gives in. Fine, but you need to be safe. And he looks at the three of you. Please, do all that you can. Keep her safe.
But of course.
Irina looks at the three of you and says, shall we go?
I'm kind of stretching after that little task there.
It's true. Your body definitely is the first time since that fight got a little bit of activity. Irina, ushers you all south away from the church. Definitely feels a lot better to get away from this sort of unease feeling that comes from this building. As you all head south, right next to where you see Bildrat's Mercantile is this very simple home. You can hear coming from the inside, this moaning sob floats through the still gray streets, coloring your thoughts with sadness. The sounds flow from a dark 2-story townhouse. Irina walks up and knocks softly. The sobbing continues for a little bit and then finally kind of stops. You hear some locks on the door kind of... I don't know if that picked it up through at all, but that's what it sounds like. Yeah. The door slightly opens and you see a middle-aged woman, wearing a robe and simple clothing, kind of peers halfway through, her face halfway showing through the door. Yes? Who's there? Irina instantly speaks. Mary, it's me, Irina. Can we speak with you, please? About Gertruda. We're here to help. And she kind of like looks at the rest of you and says, what are they? They are here to help, Mary. Is your husband here? And she says, no. He's out in the woods, chopping, working, I don't know. Then this is the perfect time. Please let us in. She kind of hesitates for a moment and then opens the door fully. Irina walks in. Do you all follow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. She walks in. You see this very simple home, plain, not many furnishings. You all pick up, there's a chair that has been broken. There's a hole punched into the wall. Definitely been some violence recently here as that domestic dispute turned into a physical altercation of some kind. Mary herself has like a bruised eye, and she is like favoring an arm as she walks in, kind of holding it and massaging it a little bit. What do you want to know about about Gertruda? How are you to help? Irina looks to the three of you and says, these people are here to help find your daughter. If there's any information you may have, please let us know. She quickly says the very similar thing that Irina told you, that she went missing a few weeks back, that Mary knows that Gertruda was dead. She could feel it in her body. And then a few days later, she knows that she is alive, that she is out there. She doesn't know where, but she can feel that Gertruda is somewhere. She says the last known location was the Durst Manor, that she was playing with the kids that live there, Rose and Thorn. And that that's all that she knows. Irina looks to the three of you and says, do any of you have any questions or anything that you might want to ask her?
Has anyone seen those other kids since?
Mary and Irina kind of look at each other and shake their head. Irina says, no, the Durst as a whole, the family, no one has seen them for weeks. Some of them, well, some people, and they both kind of act a little uneasy. Some people say that the Dursts are Strahd's disciples, and that there's some sort of cult activity happening there, like human sacrifice of some kind. This is all rumors, mind you, but it's definitely nothing good.
Guess we should be more careful than I thought going in there.
If you can get in there, that is. I feel like...
we'll get in. Did you see me lift that coffin?
I did. It at first wasn't as impressive as I thought it was going to be.
We got it. We just needed a little warm-up.
Fine, that's fine. Sorry. But you all do look capable, especially you, Bakrog. But there's definitely something wrong with the Durst. But no, they haven't been seen for weeks.
Were people as alarmed that they were missing as your child?
To be honest with you, I don't want to speak ill of people behind their backs, but not many people like the Durst. Some people say that even Strahd doesn't like the Durst. So no, more people cared about Gertruda than the Durst themselves, and honestly didn't even notice until they were looking for Gertruda herself. They noticed that the Durst hadn't been seen in town, for that matter. You can see Mary is getting like upset and kind of sobbing a little bit as all this is being said.
Should probably stop wasting time and get over there then.
I am curious about one thing. I know this must be, I can only imagine how tough this must be for you, but you mentioned that you were sure that she had perished and then later felt sure that she was around. Could you explain that feeling a little bit?
It's a connection that Gertruda and I have. I can't explain it. It's almost like a part of me was gone and then seemingly was back again the next few days. And I know it's her. I know she's out there, and I know how crazy that sounds, but it's true. Even my own husband, I love him as I do, doesn't believe me.
That connection that you reestablished with her after it had been severed. Did it feel any different from the way it had before you felt she was gone?
He kind of like eyes you a little bit as you say this and narrows her eyes a little bit. Fainter, I would say. Not as strong as before, but there. Present, for sure.
We'll do what we can.
Please, find my little Gertruda. I held her in my arms when she was a baby. She's my pride and joy. Please, you have to help her.
I wipe a tear away and say, I promise we will.
Thank you. Irina, puts her hands over Mary's hands and says, please, Mary, take care of yourself. And if you can, maybe you should go stay somewhere else. It's not safe here with your husband. I've seen what he's done to you and to this place. You shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't have to live in fear of the one that you are married to. If you need to stay with us, please come see me. You should go now. And Mary kind of takes her hands away quickly from Irina. My husband is a good man. He means well. He just misses his daughter. Please go. But do what you can. I understand, Irina says. We should go, everyone. As she like goes to leave out the door, she gives Mary one last look and then opens it. I assume you all follow?
Yes.
Yep.
As you all head outside, the rain is come back again. It's not quite nighttime, but it's definitely darker. This conversation has taken a few hours or so, actually, as you've gotten the whole story from her. You can see that the sun is setting through the clouds and that night is ever approaching. Irina looks to the three of you. Well, what should we do?
Well, I suppose we should go to that house, but I gotta say, I don't think that little girl is still around.
Really? What makes you think that?
Well, she's gotten herself caught up in what you described, this Strahd and his minions. I fear that this the feeling that she has of her daughter may not quite be her daughter.
Interesting. I have to be honest with you, I'm not quite familiar what Strahd is capable of and the things that he's able to do to other people, although I've experienced it some firsthand. I myself would not feel right if I didn't unturn every stone, if you will.
I don't want to brag, but I've read many Leather Brown books, and yes, it is turn over every stone.
You definitely are very learned. I can tell. I would be remiss if I didn't lie to you and said that I was a little worried about going into Durst Manor myself. I don't know if I'm able in a fight, although I would do what I can. Would you all be willing to at least go check it out first to see if we can get inside and then come get me if you are able?
I think we can manage that.
I mean, given the status of your neck, it might be best if you sit this one out anyway.
She kind of blushes a little bit, and you can see her, lift her collar up. Honestly, I'm a bit ashamed to say that I'm scared, but I think you're right. Although I'll do what I must. Please, find Gertruda, and if not, make sure that she's not in that manor. I'll see you back at the mansion. And she walks out into the street, the rain now starting to fully come down as the night approaches quicker and quicker. So, what are we doing?
Jafaria, you're definitely the most stealthy, most, dexterous. I wonder if it might make sense for you to do some kind of reconnaissance. You may be able to kind of get a sense of the lay of the house without being caught much more than me or this big lug over here would.
Yes, I also have remarkable night vision. Dark vision.
I mean, we all have dark vision. I mean, it's not really a brag.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't want to call you out, but yes. I mean, yes, we all have night vision. Whatever, it's fine.
See if you can find a weak spot for me.
Okay, so yes, I can do that. I will go poke around.
Okay, so are the three of you heading in that direction? So as you leave this house, the middle of town, it's like we're almost the dead center. You start heading back east, actually where you first came into the town. You see once again this like lone figure walking through the streets, like hunched over, pushing a cart. They're a little bit closer now, and they're wearing like this very dirty, like ragged robe. And you can finally start to hear a voice call out. You hear, "Dream pastries, dream pastries." As she like knocks on door, people open it and then close it, and then she kind of pushes along. You walk past this person and you get to this house, this manor, if you will. As you walk that way, and you finally walk up to this large building, you see what seems to be like a 3-story home. The windows are barred with metal bars, and the main door itself is like a large red door, and you have to like walk up steps to go to it. Strafaria, if you'd like to roll a stealth check.
Oh.
12.
Okay. As you kind of creep up onto the house itself, you definitely feel very uneasy. There's just something weird about this place as you like try to hide through a bush. You like make your way around the side and everything. All of you, go ahead and get perception checks. As she's like, she thinks that she's disappeared into the bushes. The two of you can definitely pick her up and see that she's in clear sight.
I got 19.
Okay.
11.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, the two of you, Eldrin and Strafaria, you don't see any activity. You don't see anything around. Bakrog is like, Strafaria goes around the side of the house, and she's like looping back around. You like look off to the left, not at the house, but just off to the side of the road, and you see 2 lone small figures standing there.
And I'm near Eldrin, right?
Yeah, who does not see
Very
this.
cool. I'll lean in quietly. I think we might be being watched. Gesture towards the figures.
I mean, we are standing in front of his house in clear sight. Maybe we should find a place to be a little more incognito.
Agreed.
As the two of you are having this conversation, the 2 figures that are off to the side, they like turn to you, and one of them, the taller of the 2, one's like 2.5 feet tall, the other one's maybe 4 feet tall or so. The taller one says, "Please help us. Please help us." Like calls out to the 2 of you.
I'll reach into my pocket and pull out a silver piece.
Oh God! I knew you were gonna do that. Jesus Christ!
Toss it at him. Say, "Yes, all right. Here you go."
They
Good luck
like
to you.
allow it to drop on the ground and say, "No, please, you have to help us, Father, Mother. They're in trouble."
I mean, I might have a good. Wait, what?
Jesus. By this time, Strafaria, you're coming around the house. You're hearing the end of that conversation.
I am going to whisper to these guys that I think it's a trap.
So the way you're coming around the house, these 2 figures are in between you and Bakrog and Eldrin.
Okay.
So you could try that whisper. It'd be the greatest whisper of all time, but you know that would be pretty hard to pull off.
I'm gonna give them a hand signal. I'm just gonna be like, or
Okay.
at least an eye signal, something. Going to alert them that something's fishy.
Give me a performance check. The 2 of you, give me an insight check to see if you can pick up what the Strafaria is trying to say to you.
Ooh, nat
17.
20.
Natural 20. Let's go.
Oh, what a time to get a
19.
nat 20.
18.
18. Yeah, you could clearly, with whatever sort of rogue, hand signals that Strafaria knows, you pick up very quickly that something's off here. The 2 small figures, the taller one, they stand there and they say, "Please, you have to help us. Our father or mother is in danger. There's some sort of a monster in there." And you can hear like from like feminine voice coming from the taller one.
Where is this monster, little one?
Inside her home. They might be dead. I don't know. We rushed outside. We don't know what's happening in there. And then finally, the smaller figure, this like short boy, you just hear, "Mama, Dada."
You said they're wearing hoods?
Yeah, they're wearing hoods. You could see some hair from the taller figure, like black hair, hanging down. The shorter figure who's wearing a hood is holding like this large teddy bear in his arms. You pick up they're around maybe 12 and 8 years old.
I'll kind of drop to one knee in front of him and kind of, rustle up the little one's head.
As you go to do that, they instantly step away from you, like scared, nervous. Please.
Oh, that's all right. Be cool. Where is this monster? Where is your home?
And they point to the Durst Manor. They're inside there. We heard some loud growl, some loud noise, and our mother and father, they went to go see what it was and told us to run and get help.
Is there a way to get into the house?
They kind of look at each other. The older or the sibling, the sister says, "The front door right there."
I mean, it seems locked. If you have some kind of key or something, don't.
No, it's unlocked. We just came out of it.
Did they?
You don't know. You rolled not the greatest perception.
Yeah, I did.
As far as you know, you do not see them come out.
That was a 19. I think we should definitely probably help you out. Let me get together with my friends here, and we should probably figure out the best way to help you.
Thank you. Please help mother, help father. And they're like kind of crying a little bit as she says this. By this time, Strahd, you're now back with Eldrin and Bakarog.
Oh, we gotta have a huddle.
Yeah, a little huddle.
I feel like it might be a trap, but we've been trying to get in there anyway.
Oh, it's definitely a trap.
Yeah, definitely a trap, but we're here. Let's get in there and just know it's a trap and know what we're getting into.
How do we feel about taking out little kids?
You mean like fighting them?
I mean, if we do it right, it shouldn't be much of a fight.
Not so good.
For the first time, Strahd and Bakarog, you're a little worried about Eldrin's morals. Actually, hell, not the first time. Never mind. Not even close.
Look, I understand. We've seen bite marks. We've heard of weird mind control stuff, but I don't think I can go through with that.
Well, just remember that. So, I mean, how do we just go in with them? How much can we really trust them before we, have to take matters in our own hands?
They're worried about their parents, but Mary just told us that their parents are concubines of Strahd. Concubines.
Nice word. Nice word.
Supposedly their parents and these two little kids we just met are all missing.
Exactly.
Say we leave them out here. We proceed slowly and try to keep our eyes open.
Maybe send them for help.
There you go.
Or send them to Mary.
Mm.
Unless they're...
These kids are creepy.
Unless they're demon babies.
I fear so. Straffair, did you see anything when you were going around the house? Any possible entrances or maybe exits?
That's a good question.
You did not with your roll, no.
That's right. No, I did not.
Yeah, that was useful. Well, what do you think? Should we just go in, or
I'll lead the way.
I'll hide behind you?
The two kids that are standing there, and they say, "Please find our mother and papa."
Yes. I think we will. I think we can. But I don't know if we can do it alone. I wonder if the two of you may be able to run off and try to find some more help. We'll go in, do what we can, but if you can find other people to come and help us as well, I think that might be the best chance we have of saving your parents.
Who do we help? Who do we ask?
I don't really know anyone here, to be honest. We're new to this town. There's a big lumberjack. He seems mighty. I don't know.
They kind of like shiver as you say that. We're just gonna wait right here.
Well, fuck us, whatever. That's fine.
One of the kids kind of look at each other like, "What?"
Glad you could do your part, but yeah, sure.
You promised you're not demons, right?
You say that. You say that to the children.
Yeah, yes I do.
They look at each other. What? What are you talking about?
Well,
We're new in town. We're sorry. We're sorry.
where we come from, demons means something different. So he's just playing around.
Please just find our parents. They're like kind of shaking and shivering at this time. The rain is just pouring down on top of them.
Well, we tried to get him out of the rain in our defense.
Yes. Why don't you find some shelter from the rain at the very least? No need to catch a cold.
They kind of like nod their heads, and you see them kind of walk off to the side where there's like a small little garden shed that they just stand inside of.
All right, guys. I'm ready to see what's behind that door.
Should we say something to our hosts before we go in? I'm wondering, even if neither of them join us, if it might be worth letting them know that we got in and we met the children. And
I feel like these kids are gonna freak out if we don't get in there. But if you wanna jog down and relay some info, you can do that.
Would I know how far away they are, or how long that might take?
It takes like 20 minutes or so to jaunt over there.
That's a long way. That's 40 round trip?
Yep.
Yeah, that's too far. I mean, unless the three of us could go together, I think that'd be too long to wait. What do you all think?
Worried that if we turn our backs to these potential demon children, we'll never see them again.
What are we doing?
Time is now.
The time is nigh.
I wish I might have chosen two less brazen adventure mates. But I guess I'm with you.
Okay.
Are you trying to adventure or are you trying to be cozy?
I'm trying to live.
Fair.
Wise words. So, as the three of you, very timidly, I would imagine, head up the steps and go to open the door, you try the handle and it opens, as the kid said, and you all walk inside. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you, everyone. Let's go ahead and turn off this fucking storm music here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Sorry about the technical issues that we had earlier on, but very good role-playing session. I think you all did a great job. We're going to get out of here without a raid, and no idea what Not Enough Time podcast is going to be this week. Probably Bowman Gaming and some like GeoGuessr of some kind. But yeah, I got nothing. I don't know about you.
Well, we agreed on something. Do you say that you don't know what it is
I have
just
no
to kind of
idea.
like hedge your bets?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
remembering.
it could be something different. Yeah, we agreed on GeoGuessr, but
Okay, so GeoGuessr indeed. And Cyrus, are you doing Chillax and Mundar?
That's a good question. I don't know. It
All right.
is, yeah, I guess I am free this Saturday. I don't know why I thought I wasn't. So maybe I'll put a pod together. Or
Follow.
maybe I've been wanting to do some Popper streaming too. So
That'd be
maybe
cool.
I will just play some Popper.
There you go. Follow Mental Misplay to find out. And
Yes,
we're
it
gonna
is as big a cliffhanger as this session. Here.
exactly. So we're gonna get out of here. Great job, everybody. And as I always like to say, please be kind to yourself and others. It's a thing you could do to make this world a better and easier place to live in. And as always, please stay hydrated. We will see you all next time.